Hi, have you ever wondered if you can make organic noise in ZBrush and not sculpt them by hand? Well, in today's video, we're going to look at how we can make noise both in ZBrush and Houdini. Using the new Goz feature, we can now take advantage of both softwares and in turn reduce tons of sculpting time. Alright, so we have ZBrush open here and we'll have a Polysphere 3D, and let's go directly to the deformation tab and turn on some noise and see what we can get. Yeah, we have noise on the Polysphere 3D already, but it's not so organic. And next we're going to try and see if we can sculpt some noise using the noise brush. So we switch to the noise brush and sculpt some noise and see what we can get. It is looking good, but if you've been using ZBrush, you understand that this brush is supposed to add noise to surfaces and not like distort the whole thing. But what if you want to distort the whole thing? You may not really get that. You have to sculpt it by hand, especially when you want to create some kind of rock or asteroids, something that just has to do with noise. Next, we're going to move to the surface tab and see if we can add some surface noise to this. This is also good, especially when you're trying to create some kind of details on top of surfaces. This is really nice, but at the same time we cannot get the kind of organic noise we are going for. So next off, we're going to jump into Houdini using the Goz bridge. So this is us here in Houdini. We're going to jump right into the subs tab and we're going to add the mountain node. And once we turn on the mountain node, automatically we see that we have a noise. We can now go ahead and play with the height of the noise, the element size. We can play with the offsets. We can play with the fractal type, and we can also play with the noise type. You can also play with the octaves and the pulse length, whatever you want. You just play with it and see how much noise you want to create. Now we can actually get some sort of organic noise coming out of this, and because it is super procedural, we can always come back and forth and get different results. Once we have all we want, we can just tap and enter the Goz export node and turn the flag on and send back to ZBrush. Now you can subdivide and sculpt right on top of it, or you can copy it and paste it somewhere else and use it for some other thing. And a cool thing, we can also use this and play around with the live Boolean which we have in ZBrush. So it is responsive, it works, and I would advise anyone that wants to use this to use this. Speaking of live Boolean, now I would want to go back and forth and talk about the live Boolean thing. I made a video about the live Boolean earlier, but that was more like a comparison. But now I want to talk about how we can get more out of these two softwares. So I'm going to put in a Boolean node, and now you see we can play with the Boolean and get some very interesting results. And we can also play with the operations which we have in Houdini. Don't get me wrong, you can achieve some of these kind of things in ZBrush, but you may not be able to achieve all of them because ZBrush live Boolean only has about 3 channels, which I think it's the insert, the union, and I guess the subtract as well. So but here you can take advantage of all of these in Houdini, and create very interesting shapes and send them back and forth. Like you can create the shatter, you can create the subtract, you can create the seams, and create very interesting shapes and send them back to ZBrush. I'm going to mask out the parts which I want, and I'll go to my deformation tab and add some noise. How can we do this in Houdini? How can we do exactly this which we can do in ZBrush in Houdini? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Goz feature and send this sphere down to Houdini. So what I'll do in Houdini now is select some points and make them a group and put a mountain node. On the mountain node in the properties, I'm going to specify the group which I want to create mountains out of, and then I can go ahead and play with the parameters. Once you're done with that, once you achieve what you want, you can put the export to Goz feature and send this back to ZBrush. Now you have this in ZBrush, you can do whatever you want to do with it. And that's how you create noise in ZBrush using the Goz feature to Houdini. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them in the comment box below. Like this video if you like it, share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe. Hi, do you know that we have a monthly giveaway? Why not click on the link displaying on your screen to claim it and use it for anything you want? And yes, also click on the notification icon so you get notifications once we release any new video.